Here's a question most doctors never ask you. When you sit down in a chair and then stand back up, do your legs feel heavy? Does something in your thighs grind, hesitate, resist? Most people over 60 answer yes, and then they call it aging. They are wrong, dead wrong. The heaviness is not age. The weakness is not inevitable. The stiffness creeping into your quads and calves and hamstrings right now, this week, tonight, that is a nutritional crisis playing out in slow motion inside your muscle fibers. And the terrifying part, the window to reverse it closes faster than anyone tells you. After 60, the human body loses muscle mass at a rate of up to 3% per year. Researchers at Tufts University tracked 1,700 adults over a decade and found that leg strength alone predicted hospital admission rates better than cholesterol, better than blood pressure, better than body weight. Your legs are not just transportation. They are your biological alarm system. But here's what the Tufts study also found. The people who maintained powerful legs into their 70s and 80s shared one pattern. Not a gym routine, not a prescription, a plate. Specifically, 10 foods that most seniors eat 0 servings of per week. You are about to learn every single one of them. Stay with this, because food number 7 rewires something in your leg muscles that no exercise can reach on its own. And if you walk away before we get there, you lose the one piece of information that changes everything. Picture Margaret Chen, 67 years old, a retired high school principal from Portland, Oregon, standing at the bottom of her staircase on a Tuesday morning in March 2023. The light through the kitchen window was pale gold. The coffee was already brewed, and Margaret stood there for 11 seconds. She counted, building the nerve to climb 14 steps to her bedroom. 14 steps she had taken 10,000 times that morning. Her legs told her no. Margaret was not frail. She walked her neighborhood 3 times a week. She took a calcium supplement every morning. She ate what she believed was a healthy diet: oatmeal, salads, grilled chicken, the occasional banana. Her doctor had reviewed her blood work in January and called it unremarkable. Everything looked fine. On paper, Margaret Chen was doing everything right, and her legs were still losing the war. This is the gap. The dangerous, invisible gap between what we believe feeds our muscles and what our muscles actually need after 60. It is not about calories. It is not about protein in the simple sense that every fitness article reduces it to. The gap lives in a cluster of specific micronutrients, amino acid ratios, and anti-inflammatory compounds that work only when they arrive together in the right forms from real food. Not powders, not pills, food. Here's the science that changes the framing entirely. Your leg muscles contain the highest density of mitochondria in the human body. After 60, those mitochondria become the primary drivers of anabolic resistance, the reduced ability of aging muscle to respond to protein. A 2021 paper published in the Journal of Physiology found that adults over 60 require up to 40% more dietary leucine to trigger the same muscle-building response that a 30-year-old gets from a normal meal, 40% more, and most seniors are not getting the baseline amount. Scientists call this progression sarcopenia, from the Greek sarx, meaning flesh, and penia, meaning poverty. Flesh, poverty. The progressive, accelerating loss of skeletal muscle mass and function that after 60 shifts into a gear most people are completely unprepared for. The National Institute on Aging estimates that by age 80, the average adult has lost 40% of the muscle mass they carried at 40. Not 10%, not 20%, 40. And sarcopenia does not just steal muscle, it steals independence. A landmark study from the University of New Mexico followed 2,000 adults aged 65 and older for 6 years and found that those in the lowest quartile of leg strength were 4.9 times more likely to experience a mobility-limiting fall. Of adults over 70 who fracture a hip in a fall, 30% die within 12 months. This is not a quality of life issue, it is a survival issue. Food number 1, wild-caught salmon, not farmed, wild. Wild salmon contains between 1.2 and 2.1 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per 3-ounce serving, specifically EPA and DHA, the 2 forms that cross directly into muscle cell membranes. A 2020 clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition gave adults over 65 either wild fish oil or a placebo for 18 weeks. The wild fish oil group increased their leg press strength by an average of 11.4% without changing their exercise routine. Zero extra workouts, 11.4% stronger. Omega-3s suppress the prostaglandin cascade that converts normal muscle microtrauma into chronic inflammation, the same inflammation that makes your legs feel leaden after minimal exertion. Food number 2, spinach. Spinach contains nitrates, naturally occurring compounds that your saliva converts into nitric oxide within 20 minutes of eating. Nitric oxide dilates blood vessels. In your legs, wider vessels mean 23% greater oxygen delivery to working muscle tissue. According to research from Karolinska Institute published in 2019, 1 cup of raw spinach, 20 minutes. The effect is measurable. Food number 3, eggs. Specifically, whole eggs with the yolk intact. A single large egg contains 0.6 grams of leucine, that critical amino acid from the Tufts research. But the yolk adds something the white alone cannot, choline. Adults over 60 show a documented 32% decline in choline synthesis compared to younger adults, according to a 2022 analysis in Nutrients. Choline is the raw material for acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter that fires the nerve signal from your brain to your leg muscle. No choline, no signal, no contraction. No contraction, and the muscle that remains begins to atrophy from disuse, not from age. 2 eggs at breakfast. The signal restores. Food number 4, sweet potato. 1 medium sweet potato delivers 542 milligrams of potassium, a mineral that regulates the electrical gradient across muscle cell membranes. When potassium falls below optimal levels, which happens in 56% of American adults over 65, according to the CDC, muscles cramp, fatigue faster, and lose contractile force. Margaret added sweet potato to dinner the same night the gap was identified. By the following Thursday, 9 days later, climbing those 14 stairs required no negotiation at all. Food number 5, Greek yogurt. Full fat, plain, unsweetened. A 6-ounce serving delivers 17 grams of protein in a casein and whey combination that releases into your bloodstream over a 4 to 7 hour window. A 2021 study in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics found that seniors who consumed casein-containing protein before sleep demonstrated 34% greater overnight muscle protein synthesis compared to those who did not. Your legs rebuild while you sleep. The Greek yogurt is the instruction that makes it happen. You are now at the midpoint of this list. 5 foods in, 5 remaining. The 5 ahead target mechanisms most seniors never hear about. Nerve conduction speed, collagen turnover in tendons, mitochondrial density in slow-twitch fibers. Foods 7 and 8 work together in a synergistic pathway that cannot be replicated by any supplement currently on the market. The foods that activate it are available at your nearest store. The window to learn them closes when this video ends. Stay. Food number 6, tart cherries. Specifically tart Montmorency cherries, not the sweet varieties in the produce aisle. Montmorency cherries contain a compound called cyanidine 3-glucoside at concentrations 40 times higher than sweet cherries. That compound directly inhibits the COX-2 enzyme, the same enzyme targeted by ibuprofen. A 2018 randomized controlled trial from Northumbria University had adults over 60 drink 8 ounces of Montmorency cherry juice daily for 7 days. Their markers for muscle inflammation dropped 26%. Their reported leg soreness after a 90-minute walk dropped by half. You can find Montmorency cherry juice concentrate at most health food stores for approximately $14 per bottle. 1 bottle lasts 3 weeks at therapeutic dosage. Food number 7, Brazil nuts. 1 serving, exactly 3 Brazil nuts, delivers 240% of your daily selenium requirement. Selenium is the cofactor for glutathione peroxidase, your body's primary intracellular antioxidant in muscle tissue. After 60, glutathione production drops by up to 50%. A 2022 University of Birmingham study found that seniors with optimal selenium showed 31% higher mitochondrial efficiency in leg muscle biopsies, 3 Brazil nuts. Without selenium, the full nutritional stack fails. Food number 8, bone broth. Specifically, bone broth simmered for a minimum of 12 hours from grass-fed bones. Below 12 hours, collagen does not fully hydrolyze into its bioavailable peptide form. Collagen peptides from bone broth concentrate in joint cartilage within 4 hours of consumption, per a 2019 Penn State study. They stimulate chondrocytes, the cells that maintain and repair cartilage, at a rate 37% higher than glycine supplements alone. Your tendons are 70% collagen by dry weight. If your tendons cannot transfer the force your muscles generate, every other intervention produces force your skeleton never receives. 1 cup, 3 times per week. The simmer is the non-negotiable variable. Food number 9, lentils. Half a cup of cooked lentils delivers 9 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber, and critically iron alongside 358 micrograms of folate. Iron and folate govern oxygen carrying capacity in red blood cells. A 2020 study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 65 with suboptimal folate levels reported leg fatigue onset 38% earlier during standard walking tests. That exhaustion you interpret as weakness may be oxygen debt. Lentils address that at the source. Food number 10, turmeric consumed with black pepper and a fat sauce simultaneously. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, has near zero bioavailability when consumed alone. Black pepper contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%, per a study published in Planta Medica. Fat enables curcumin's entry into the lymphatic system, bypassing the liver's first-pass metabolism entirely. A 2021 meta-analysis in Frontiers in Physiology found that curcumin directly suppresses NF-κB, the master switch for systemic inflammation in aging muscle tissue. NF-κB activation is the upstream driver of sarcopenia itself. Turmeric with black pepper in olive oil addresses the molecular ignition point of the entire process. Now hold the full list: wild-caught salmon, spinach, whole eggs, sweet potato, Greek yogurt, Montmorency cherry juice, 3 Brazil nuts, bone broth, lentils, and turmeric with black pepper in olive oil. 10 foods, 10 mechanisms. Margaret Chen now climbs those 14 stairs without counting them. She walks 2.3 miles on Tuesday mornings. She does not hold the railing going down. It happened because she replaced 5 items on her grocery list with 5 that answered the question her legs were actually asking. You now carry the same list. You did not stumble onto this video. Something brought you here. A morning when the stairs felt longer, a walk that ended earlier than you intended. A quiet fear you have not named to anyone. That signal is real. Your body sent it deliberately, and now you have 10 specific answers to bring back to it. Write them down right now, before the tab closes, before the next video begins. Wild salmon, spinach, whole eggs, sweet potato, Greek yogurt, Montmorency cherry juice, 3 Brazil nuts, bone broth, lentils, turmeric, with black pepper in olive oil. Margaret Chen taped her list to the refrigerator. That small act is where the 14 stairs started losing their power. If this changed something for you, share it with someone whose legs are sending the same signal. Your parents, your neighbor, your closest friend. Leg strength is not a vanity metric. It is a survival metric, and most people over 60 are fighting that battle without the right information. You now have it. Use it tonight. Subscribe so the next piece of this picture reaches you before you need it. This video is for informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet or health routine.